Friends and dear YouTube subscribers, I've gathered all of my houseplants today to reveal a secret that I've been keeping. And I'm sorry if you have ever felt misled in any way, but I am terrible at taking care of houseplants. And I know this may come as a shock because I have a gardening YouTube channel, but every houseplant you see in this photo, I have almost killed multiple times, or I've really just neglected to give them proper care at all. While this is hard for me to admit publicly, I do acknowledge that I don't know everything and that I do need help. Because you know what? Sometimes we all need help. So, today, I am actually going to take some extra time to care for my houseplants and introduce you to all of them. Every houseplant has a story, and those stories are important, and we should care for the stories of the houseplants. Sorry, I definitely thought of that very dramatic monologue and I kind of just had to do it. But I'm very excited because today, the truth is I am really bad at taking care of houseplants. Like, that is the bona fide truth. I'm terrible at it. Like, houseplants are just very high maintenance, and weirdly enough, as much as I love growing things, I do not do well with high maintenance anything, to be honest. I'm not super high maintenance. I don't do well with high maintenance, like, foods or like relationships or plants or animals, like really anything. Like, high maintenance and Brooke don't usually go hand in hand very well together. However, the houseplants that I do have left standing, they do all have a cool story, and so I'm just gonna run through the varieties of houseplants that I have, kind of what their stories are, and then we are going to fertilize them. I've never fertilized these houseplants ever once in the time that I've had them, and I'm actually gonna be featuring a really cool company. Okay, y'all, so no lie, this is a real story that really happened. I went to one of my girlfriend's dinner parties in December, and I met a girl who, her and her business partner had just went full time to launch an organic houseplant fertilizer company. So her and I got to talking, we became friends, and of course we talked about plants, and the company name is Flourish. So I actually did purchase this. This is not a affiliated video, and I'm just trying this out, to be honest. So today is January 30th. So I'm gonna fertilize all these houseplants, and then we're gonna check back in 2 weeks to see the progress. I've taken photos of all of the plants in their state so that we can kind of go through how this all works. And so I'm gonna show you the process of how I fertilize, but I'm gonna introduce you to my houseplants first. So Flourish will be launching very soon, and it's a concentrated fertilizer that you put into another vessel and then fertilize your plants. So let me introduce you to my houseplants. We're gonna fertilize, and then I'm gonna show you the progress in 2 weeks. Okay, first up is this Pothos Ivy. Now, this is a variegated pothos. I didn't actually know that when I got it, and honestly, I got this plant from a propagated cutting from my neighbor across the street, who's actually moving today, and I'm kind of bummed because he's a good neighbor. But that's where this guy came from, and this guy lives on my desk. So we only have one south-facing window in this whole house, and the plants that get that south-facing window are my Fiddle and my Montessera. But this plant gets pretty good light during this time of year sitting on my desk by a window. So this is my Pothos. Pothos are kind of like idiot-proof plants, to be honest, and he's very happy in his spot. Guys, next up, I have this snake plant that really needs to be repotted. If you have any advice for snake plants, let me know. One of my best friends, wow, that was so much dust. One of my best friends, who used to be my manager, she got me this snake plant literally years ago. And it's a real plant. Like, I've asked myself, I'm like, is this a fake plant? No, it's a real plant. I cannot get it to grow. It has been this size for like 4 or 5 years. So we're gonna give it some fertilizer. I know it probably needs a bit of a tighter pot. This is a pretty big ceramic pot. But yeah, snake plants. They call them idiot-proof plants. What does that say about me? All right, guys. Next up is this other Pothos Ivy. Now, this guy, I'll put up some photos. So I let this guy live outside when it's nice out. This guy likes living outside when it's nice out. Now, we had a cold snap a couple of weeks ago, and I forgot to bring this inside. So I'm gonna put up a picture of the damage. I literally just yesterday cut out all of the damage and put it in a new pot, and I watered it. So we're gonna give it a little fertilizer, see if we can get it jump started, and kind of get it back to being in a good place. I'll put some pictures up. I've had this Pothos Ivy since I moved to Austin, which was about 5 or 6 years ago. So this one's been with me for a while, and I've legit almost killed it like so many times. It's actually really, I don't know how it's still alive. So yeah, we're gonna try and get this guy back to health because I just really love this plant specifically. It spills over really beautifully once it's like growing really well. So this is my other variegated Pothos Ivy. Next we'll do my Fiddle leaf fig, which is honestly pretty freaking tall. I mean, I've got it on a stand right now, but I got this Fiddle leaf fig. This is my third fiddle, okay? Third. 1, 2, 3. Third fiddle. Third time's a charm, right? Right? I don't know. So this is my third fiddle, and fiddles are notoriously extremely finicky. Weirdly enough, this one has done really well. It's got a little bit of yellowing right now. I think I'm not watering it enough, and I legit have never fertilized this thing. Never one time have I given it fertilizer. Like I said, I don't know how it's still alive. It was like exploding in growth a few months ago. Like it was getting so many new leaves. So yeah, this one I want to really try and keep. I got it in May of 2020, and actually in May of 2020, we live in a really big city. So we live in a really big city, and so this Fiddle leaf fig is special to me because I actually bought this fiddle the first time I went out to a garden center, like amidst COVID. Okay, y'all, we're about to make some confessions like Usher real quick. So this video just cut to what you're seeing now from introducing you to all of my houseplants because I filmed that video like a month ago, and through a series of events, I lost the rest of the footage, which showed the rest of the houseplants. Plus, yeah, it's Lana's mad. Look at this dog. She's so upset. The other dogs, everyone's upset. So I lost the rest of the footage, which also included using Flourish. So here's what we're gonna do. It is a month later. I'm going to show you the rest of the houseplants, plus I got a new one, and then we are going to fertilize again. Yeah, Lana's got stuff to say. Okay. Okay, y'all, this is my Fishbone prayer plant. And prayer plants are really awesome because they will actually put their leaves up like this, and they have these really cool under purple leaves. They put their leaves up, and then when the sun comes on them, they put their leaves back down, which is why they're called a prayer plant. And this plant I've had for 4 years? It's been a while, and it's in a very, very large pot. Which is a really big pain in the butt to move whenever we have to move anywhere. So this is my Fishbone prayer plant. Now I will say, since I put the fertilizer on, this one is very happy. And I think I've told you guys, I have literally never fertilized these plants one time. So here's the Fishbone prayer plant. It's very happy, it's very full. Honestly, I think even this snake plant has made some progress. A little bit. And then this Pothos Ivy is looking real nice. It's put on a bunch of new growth. It's really, really happy. And just overall, it's looking really nice from when I totally ruined it just about a month ago. All right, now, here's the Fiddle leaf fig, okay? I finally decided it was tall enough to put it on the ground. So, we actually have a new leaf that is getting ready to emerge. So I think the fertilizer has definitely been helping, and now that it's warming up outside, I'm really excited to see my fiddle continue to grow.
my Monstera. I don't know if we met the Monstera last time I was here. My Monstera has crazy aerial roots. Like, it's got so many of them. And I actually just bought these moss poles, and I need to take some time to actually tie these giant stems to the moss poles. But this thing has exploded vertically since I fertilized it. Like, it is just huge. And it's not in the best window, but that's okay. Now, the other two houseplants that I have fertilized with Flourish, one of them is a new houseplant and the other one is looking amazing. So this Pothos Ivy has put on quite a few new leaves, and these leaves look super healthy. The plant is really happy. It's just putting on so much new growth. And then this is a Swiss cheese plant. Now, I'm sure it has a better name. Actually, I'm 100% sure it has a better name. And I got this plant in Waco, Texas at Spring at the Silos from the Plant Project in Dallas, Texas. They had a booth there. And I am in love with this plant. But I did have to get it back home from the festival and took a little bit of a beating. When I repotted it, it was definitely a little bit root bound and it was super dry. So I gave it a little bit bigger of a pot, I gave it some Flourish fertilizer, and it's starting to look better. I feel like when you have houseplants like that, you expect them to look better immediately, but it usually takes some time. So now that we've seen the progress thus far from all of the plants that have been fertilized, let's go ahead and fertilize them again. So we have our Flourish vessel. Now I know they've come out with new ones since they launched their site, which launched yesterday. I'll also link the site down below so you can go check them out. The website is Chef's Kiss Beautiful. But we are gonna use this. So one of these filled to the top. This will do, I believe it's 3 small house plants, 2 medium house plants, or 1 large one. So I have 1, 2, 3 large ones, and let's say probably 2 small and 2 medium. So that's kind of how that will go. And then you have your dropper bottle right here. And so we are just going to take 2 to 6 drops. Let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think I squeezed a 6th one out of there. So it really doesn't take much at all. And then we're gonna fill this. Also, it does have a little bit of a stank, but I feel like all good fertilizers have a little bit of a stank, especially when they're organic. Here's what that lovely water looks like. Please don't drink it. That would be terrible. So we're just gonna go ahead and run around and fertilize all of the plants. Some for you. And then we'll do some for you. You guys probably don't want to hear me go through all of that, so just trust. All of the plants got fertilized. All right, y'all. I'm going to wrap up this video. Thank you so much for watching my houseplant tour. I'm sorry it was a little bit chaotic, but you know, so is life with me. But honestly, like, love on your houseplants as much as you love on your garden. Or maybe don't, and just be slightly better like me. I'm just slightly better than I was before, and it is all because of Flourish. So please go support their company. It is woman-owned. They are a small business. They are wonderful people. Let's lift up plant businesses that are, you know, just dedicated to doing things the right way, which I can assure you Flourish is. Thank you so much for watching. Happy house planting. Happy house having plants, house plants. Yeah, I'm not, that's about just as chaotic as that whole video. So, yeah, enjoy all of the plants in your life, and we'll see you next time.